Hello and welcome to a wonderful, glorious, exciting day, and that is Catalyst Expansion Day. EVE Online has just dropped its latest expansion, Catalyst, where it's all about rocks, baby, and also some really other cool things which have nothing to do with rocks. I'll give you a sneak peek. It's the map. They've done huge, wonderful, amazing things with the map. But welcome in. What we're going to do here today is go through all of their little press release as well as all of the patch notes, and I will give you a bunch of context for all of those patch notes so that you know what is going on in the world of New Eden. So let's go ahead and get this show on the road and start with the Catalyst expansion is here. Capsuleers, mining is the foundation of New Eden, and with Catalyst expansion, it has now become more dynamic, rewarding, and contested. Catalyst introduces a new ore, new ships, the 2D map, a new epic arc, and much, much more. New phase fields and prismaticite, the most valuable ore ever seen, ignite a new resource rush across New Eden. Corporations, mixed fleets, and a great deal of courage are required to claim the new riches. Race to claim them, but be alert, because every mining operation can turn into a battlefield. This expansion gives new pilots a strong start, with an easy path into mining through the Fractured Legacy epic arc. Faster ways to earn, and a new ship built to grow with you. Discovering adventures across New Eden has never been easier. The TLDR. A new, unpredictable ore ignites a galaxy-wide resource rush. New command ships, the Pioneer, a mining destroyer, and Odysseus exploration ship. Mining refined with faster cycles, critical hits, and improved UI. Explore the stars with a new 2D map. Start your journey with a new epic arc. And carriers updated, Plex logs added, and more. There's always more. They said more before, they're saying more again, and there is in fact more. From a spark to an inferno. Mysterious hyperspace fractures tear across New Eden, revealing volatile asteroids rich in prismaticite, an erratic ore that refines into different minerals. Mining gets faster, more rewarding, and dynamic, with critical mining hits, faster mining cycles, new in-space UI overlays, and many more mining enhancements. The new mining destroyer, the Pioneer, is a perfect middle ground between a mining frigate and mining barges, and is available in 3 different variations. The new epic arc introduces the new updates and rewards you with your very own Pioneer. So if you do the new epic arc, you get a sweet new ship out of it. Sounds pretty fun. Lead your fleet further afield and conquer uncharted territory with the Odysseus, a powerful new exploration command ship. Chart routes, locate resources, and plan your expeditions with the new 2D map. Furthermore, a version of the New Eden map is now available online. Wait a second. What? Did they have Dotland? But me likey. Explore the living star cluster of New Eden. It's a rich history and shifting politics. Use control to zoom on the map. Oh. So let's check out Pakvin, everyone's favorite. Okay, and then it goes into the 2D map. This is a little bit weird. Okay, so like, let's do Sov. Let's do alliances. We can zoom out. So, like, is this the new Sov map? I mean, it doesn't look as good as, like, the blobby maps, right? But that look like some of them look pretty cool. I actually really like this, and I hope it looks this good in game, right? So we're gonna have to check that out because it has like the alliance logos, and so if you're roaming or something and you're like, I wonder whose space we're in. You could easily check this map and be like, oh, we're in Goon space. You can check the security band, high, low, and null. There is not a lot of low. I thought there would be more low. Or the pure security. All right. Insurgencies. Looks a little weird, but sure. You can do all the fac war. And then you can do locations. Oh, you can see monuments. What are these monuments? Fallen Capsuleer. Okay, so that's in Molai. The Black Monolith. That's in, is it Dead End? It doesn't, well, hold on. Can we, let me scroll harder. Wait, what? It's just going to tell me the constellation. It won't tell me the system. Hello? Okay, so that could be better. Project Discovery Phase 1. Cariace Monument. Okay, so these monuments are not all the monuments that exist. Why does it only have 4 monuments? Okay, that could be better. But this is a pretty cool map still. I do like this. Moving back. In addition, Catalyst introduces several other enhancements, including carrier updates, personal Plex transaction logs, and much more. Please stop saying much more. Check out the mining blog, the new ships blog, or the patch notes for all the details on what Catalyst has for you. And we're going to check out those patch notes shortly. Omega for all until the 27th of November. So you have like a week. All Capsuleers can claim a special Omega offer from the New Eden store. 7 days of Omega for just 10 Plex. But wait, that's not all. Pilots with existing Omega status get a gift of 10 Plex, which can be used to extend it by 7 days or just to build your war chest. So even if you are not Omega, what you can do is buy 10 Plex from like the marketplace and then get the 7 days of Omega and then claim your 10 Plex. And then you can resell that if you wanted, or you could just keep the 10 Plex, whatever. But you can work around the system. Why did CCP do this way? Probably for stupid financial reasons, but such is life. This is the perfect boost to help you seize the moment, fly the new ships, and sharpen your edge, so don't miss your chance. There is also daily rewards. Celebrate the launch of Catalyst with 14 thrilling days of login rewards. And also, one moment, please, because I need to do this because downtime is in 5 minutes. But you got 14 days where you can get Skinner components, a mining destroyer expert system to make the most of the new mining enhancements, up to 530,000 SP for Omegas, and more. And then there's also going to be a lava stream. Since Catalyst is all about rocks provide, we are bringing you a very special live stream from inside one. On November 19th at 1930, which is in a few hours from now, CCP TV will broadcast live from the lava tunnel in Iceland, where you will see new epic arc firsthand, get a chill chat with CCP Okami, and get a special volcanic episode of Nerds. There will also be very special Twitch drops as well, so don't miss a minute. Expansion packs and offers. Also, we can go ahead and click the Twitch drop. Oh, this just tells you to connect. Okay. Expansion packs and offers. Don't miss the new Catalyst packs in the Eve store, with one tailored more to newer players and the other for veterans. New pilots will enjoy a pack that includes Omega skill points, a cerebral accelerator, an expert system to acquire all the necessary skills to fully experience the Pioneer, and a stunning skin for their Pioneer. Experienced Capsuleers will appreciate a more advanced pack, including a wealth of Plex and skill points, a cerebral accelerator, and a plethora of Skinner components, apparel, and refined resourcer skins. The New Eden store is also offering a fantastic deal on multiple character training, including free Omega and skins. So if you're looking to purchase stuff, now is a pretty good time to do it. As well as there is the current 20% off Omega, or up to 20% off Omega in the Nest store. Pretty good deal to purchase if you need a bulk of Omega time. Also, don't forget to use code NTH, that's right, NTH at checkout, and also preferably use Marquee Dragon because you get an extra 3% off. But either way, just use code NTH and you'll get some goodies, or I'll get some goodies rather. If you just use the base store, I'm the only one that gets the bonus, but I still very much appreciate it. So thank you. All right, let's go claim these daily rewards and also look at them while we're here. So it looks like we're going to get some skinners, some mining destroyers, some SP, skinner components, SP. Okay, so pretty much just skinner components and SP, which is fine. And what I also want to do is, because I see the day 2, I want to log on to my alpha account. So in a few minutes, I will be able to claim that other one for the day 2. Login complete. Perfect. Moving on. Catalyst has just begun. This is just the beginning of the Catalyst era, and more updates are just around the corner. Freelance jobs will get an update on December 2nd. Oh, cool. That introduces access list, allowing corporations to control who can access their jobs, black or whitelisting specific characters, corporations, or alliances. That's pretty cool. So before there was like problems with people making freelance jobs of like trying to offer to like do damage to a certain corporation or kill a certain corporation, and it was just being gamed because like that corporation would take the contract and then just like hurt themselves and take the money but don't actually kill anyone. But this way you can make that less of a problem, and you can also make it so that your freelance jobs can like pay better if like you want to pay the people that you actually like and like just whitelist people instead. And then stay tuned for more updates. The power to light the spark across New Eden is in your hands now. So that is their little press release. And now we're going to go ahead and move on over to the big, beefy, wonderful patch notes. And apparently they gave these patch notes earlier. Interesting. Okay. Whatever. We're getting to our patch notes now. New improvements. New 2D map. Brand new 2D map is now available. You can access it through the 2D toggle button in the bottom right-hand corner of the map window. The 2D map comes with 2 distinct visual modes depending on your zoom level. The heat map view, when zoomed out for an overview of the universe data, and then the tube/subway style map, when zoomed in for a clear look at systems and connections. You can also decide how much data to display. Use the eye-shaped toggle above the 2D map to switch between always visible data or focusing only around your cursor area. So some people like all of the information all at the same time. Some people only like a focused amount of information so they don't get overloaded, and you can do both. So you just click in the eye-shaped toggle. And then improved data visualization. We've improved how data is displayed on both the 2D and 3D maps. The new visualization now aligns more closely with player expectations, drawing inspiration from the classic map's behavior. Filters now use logarithmic scaling, which makes it easier to distinguish increments in lower in values, even when big outliers appear on the map, which is wonderful. A legend has been added to help interpret the data shown on the map. By interacting with the turning icon on the legend, you can open the new filter editing panel, where you can adjust the data range displayed, switch between logarithmic and linear scaling, and customize the colors used for visualization. So like you can make whatever your favorite one is, you can make it like a certain color. And that way, like at a glance, you can know immediately what you're looking at because like it's the pink color and the pink color is like NPC kills, right? And then your changes will be saved per filter, allowing you to tailor how data appears and focus on what's most relevant to your needs. And the 2D map is by far the best thing about this expansion, if you ask me.
Thank you for the follow.
It revolutionizes the map. It looks so clean and good, and the information is wonderful. And like planning routes is way easier. Like this is a huge game changer for the game. So get in there, check out that map, and hopefully you enjoy it. And even if you don't enjoy it, you can switch back to the 3D map whenever you want. But I have to imagine that you're going to like this. It more or less replaces Dotland. The only thing that it doesn't like currently do well is give you a few metrics like the delta NPC kills over a past hour. So you could like see if people are starting to rat or if they're stopping to rat, if you're like trying to hunt them. And then also jump routes. So it visualizes a single jump very well about how you can jump or where you can jump. But Dotland still is like incredible for figuring out if you are like going from Jita and you want to jump your jump freighter to like Amar, it will like tell you the best route to do that. And the in-game map doesn't do that yet, but they've said that there is a possibility of them adding that in the future. So hopefully we see that soon enough. And speaking of jump range visualization, pilots filing ships equipped with jump drives can now toggle the jump range display on the 2D and 3D map. And the 2D, the reachable systems are highlighted, and in the tube subway map mode, reachable nodes change their shape from circles to diamonds. Hovering over a system provides information about jump range, fuel consumption, and fatigue incurred after the jump. There is also new filters. We've expanded the range of filters available in the 2D and 3D maps. Under the new mining category, you can now choose from ore anomalies, displayed as pins, showing nearby anomalies within a 5-jump range. I really also hope that they add exploration anomaly or cosmic signatures, and then much the same way that they did this. I don't think they did. Maybe they did actually, but hopefully they do in the future, because I think that's going to also be incredible for explorers to be able to like quickly at a glance see on your map like where you might want to go, especially like dead end systems. And you can kind of do it in the agency right now, but having it on the 2D map would just be fucking keen. And then ore distribution, showing where ore belts are located across New Eden, and then specific ores, highlighting systems where particular ores can be found. This is also where we're introducing a new information sidebar that appears alongside the map. It provides extra context about the selected filter, helping you explore ore data and learn more about the resources you're seeing. Quality of life improvements. The following quality of life improvements have been added. Pilots can now search for landmarks directly in the map's search field. That's really cool. You can like type in a landmark and it'll tell you where it is, maybe, hopefully. There is also, I am very curious if this 2D map and landmarks thing is going to reveal the secret last landmark. So when they added a bunch of new landmarks into the game, think like Trace Cosmos or Sea of Stars, Court of Elements, they added a secret one that maybe people have seen, maybe people haven't seen, or people have almost certainly seen it. They maybe just haven't like realized what it is. And so I'm curious if this is going to finally reveal that. And then directional arrows have been added to the 2D map to make regional connections clearer and easier to identify. So this is just something that like if you're very zoomed into the map and there's like a connection to a different region, or even if you're not even that zoomed into the map, if there's a regional connection, it will like tell you where it goes, what like to what other system it goes to, which is a request that I personally put in. And so I'm really glad to see that they made that better. Moving on to the mining UI/UX improvements. Integrated mining surveyor with overlay toggle. All ore mining ships and all basic Empire corvettes now come equipped with a built-in mining surveyor, providing immediate access to in-space resource data without requiring a separate module. We can go ahead and watch this video of them doing that. So you click this little button next to your whole armor shield, and it will show you, it's very loud, it will show you a bunch of information about the asteroids. The mining surveyor introduces a dynamic overlay displaying color-coded visual indicators of asteroid value directly in space. The overlay can be toggled on or off via the scanner button on the HUD. Turning overlay on by clicking the scan button, your ship performs a mining scan and displays color-coded visual overlays on nearby asteroids. These overlays highlight relative value tiers and estimated ISK to give players an immediate, at-a-glance view of the most profitable targets in range. Clicking the scan button again will rescan your surroundings. And then turning the overlay off, players can also right-click the scan button and disable the overlay. All the current scan data will be retained within the survey scan result window until the player rescans. I'm curious if there's going to be a hotkey to do this so that we could turn the overlay off but still use it. And then mining survey chipset module. The mining survey chipset is a passive mid-slot module that enhances the mining surveyor with detailed information on the number of units of ore available in nearby asteroids. It also provides bonuses to mining critical success chance and mining critical success bonus yield, as well as a reduction in mining residue chance. So it's just a nice little upgrade to make your mining faster, harder, and you get more of it instead of losing more to residue. Only one mining survey chipset module can be fit at a time. The mining survey chipset is available in basic, T1, compact, and T2 versions. And then existing survey scanner modules have been converted into mining survey chipset modules. Mining surveys can be upgraded with a mining survey chipset to reveal additional information such as the total value and remaining quantity. I think they just reiterated the same thing. Or industrial command ships can provide upgraded mining survey functionality, fleet-wide through any mining foreman burst, granting members access to the same enhanced survey data provided by the mining survey chipset module. So is this that if you have like a porpoise with a mining surveyor, then they do that, and then whenever a mining foreman burst goes out, it updates everyone with that? I'm assuming that's what that's saying. Cargo hold capacity indicator. While the mining surveyor overlay is active, a new icon will display the current capacity of your mining hold in the space scene behind your ship to make this information accessible at a glance. So this is more like things existing, visuals existing like in your game space. So instead of going into a menu, looking at a fucking spreadsheet, looking at a bar, figuring out how much you have in your cargo hold, you'll be able to just like look in space and know at a glance, which is really cool. I like these little things in space. There is also faster mining cycles. Mining lasers and strip miners will now have 4 times faster cycles, and gas cloud harvesters will have 2 times faster cycles, making mining operations more responsive. The yield per cycle, capacitor usage, and mining crystal volatility damage has been adjusted
proportionally to maintain the same overall mining yield over time. So this just means that you're gonna cycle faster. You're gonna you don't have to time turning off your module as much to waste less time if the rock is gonna explode. Um, you're gonna see more numbers happen. It's just gonna be more fun, more responsive, better. Instead of just being really long and drawn out. So that's pretty good. And then mining crits. Mining lasers, strip miners, and ice harvesters can now experience critical successes, but not gas harvesters. Interesting. Without reducing the remaining ore in the asteroids, the chance of a critical success starts at 1%, and the bonus yield from a critical success starts at 200% of the standard yield of that cycle, with both values able to be increased through skills, modules, and mining foreman burst. Critical success notifications will appear on screen with added audio and visual cues to inform players when a crit occurs. So I can only imagine the game is going to be like critical hit or something crazy like that. New mining critical success skills, because there is no expansion without some more fucking useless skills to add into the game. I really hate how every expansion, or really anytime CCP can manage it, adds new skills into the game. It is pretty much exclusively a way to keep people getting more skill points, buying more large skill injectors, and it's just in my opinion, a blatant fucking money grab that explicitly makes the game worse. So, with that said, of course, there's more fucking skill books added to the game. Mining Precision is a new rank 2 skill that provides 10% bonus to Mining Laser and Ice Harvester critical success chance per skill level. And then Mining Exploration is a new rank 6, Jesus, which means it takes a very long time to train up, that provides a 5% bonus to Mining Laser and Ice Harvester critical success bonus yield per skill level. Okay. And this 10% is not like 10% chance to crit. It is 10% on your 1%. So at max level, you have 1.5% chance to crit. And then you can also use mods and other things to improve it even further. But that's how that goes. Changes to mining cycle rounding. The rounding system used for mining yields has been adjusted so that the amount of ore you receive over time while mining will more closely match the estimated values of your modules. Previously, any remainder of less than one whole unit of ore that was left over after the ore unit volume was divided into mining cycle yield volume would be rounded down and lost. Now we have implemented a system of stochastic rounding so that each cycle will have a chance of receiving one additional unit of ore, so that over time your overall yield will tend towards the yield that would be expected from your module attributes and bonuses. Okay, that's cool. That's because you can't when you harvest ore, you can't have part of an ore left in the cycle. So I assume it's if you harvested 0.5 of another ore, then you have a 50% chance to get that one whenever you finish your cycle. So that's cool. One key compression shortcut. A bindable hotkey can be assigned to compress all ore, ice, and gas in your ship at once when you have access to a compression in space through a mining foreman ship in fleet. But you should be able to oh, wait. Okay, yeah. That tracks. Mining laser efficiency mining foreman burst charge. A new mining laser efficiency charge for the mining foreman burst module has been added. This new charge provides a base bonus of 50% mining critical success chance and minus 15% mining residue chance to fleet mates within range. These bonuses scale with pilot skills, ship bonuses, and mine links, just like the other mining foreman burst. It also, I believe, means that the mining bursts are the only burst thingies with 4 options instead of 3. All of the mining foreman burst charges provide enhanced mining survey functionality to all affected fleet members and that are piloting ships with an integrated mining surveyor, allowing them to track the remaining number of units of ore in nearby asteroids. Yes. That was already talked about, but good to clarify again. A new introductory message when entering asteroid fields. When warping into asteroid belts and mining anomalies, a new introductory message will appear in the bottom third of the screen that lets players know the name of the location they just arrived at, as well as an estimate of how depleted or fresh the asteroid field is. Oh, that's cool. It's dynamic. This should be especially helpful to players in high traffic space to indicate at a glance whether a field is mostly picked clean by other players or not. I'm really curious if this is when you warp to it. Do you immediately get that message and then can cancel warp and warp to another? Or does this message appear once you land on the field? Does anyone in chat know that answer? All right. Phased asteroid field. Phased fields are high-value mining sites featuring unique mechanics. They spawn randomly in low and null security space and must be initially discovered using probe scanning. They contain a valuable new ore, prismaticite, which can be mined from phased asteroids within the site and which require the use of industrial command ships to mine efficiently. In addition to the incredibly valuable prismaticite, there are also several high-value asteroids of superior grades present which can be mined at any time as normal. These sites contain a hyperspace fracture which will slowly move across space, breaching any phased asteroids along its path. Once breached, phased asteroids are phased out and can be mined for prismaticite at 10% efficiency immediately. After deploying a mobile phase anchor and connecting it to industrial command ships, the asteroid will phase in and can be mined at 100% efficiency. This persists until it phases out over time or the fracture moves away, collapsing the asteroid. Mobile phase anchors require 100 energy to phase in the phased asteroids. Workwolves provide 100, orcas 50, and porpoises 35. Mobile phase anchor blueprints are available for 140 million ISK in the following locations: Yitri, Propel Dynamics, Elfer & Co., Freedom Extension, Zoran Sons, Dulce Foundry, Impetus, Chemical Tech, Mordu's Legion, and Intaki Bank stations. So pretty easy to access. Once the fracture has moved halfway across the site, a beacon is spawned revealing the site. Once revealed, the site's location is visible to everyone in the solar system, and it also becomes visible on the star map. And this is once the fracture has moved halfway across the site. The beacon is spawned, revealing the site. I imagine that the beacon is also spawned when someone first warps to it. Maybe I'm wrong in that, but we'll see. Prismaticite is a resource-rich, but is also the first in a new type of ore called erratic. When prismaticite is reprocessed, each reprocessing batch will randomly become one of the 8 possible mineral types and provide a variable quantity of that mineral. So it's gamba, baby. And then Mullen says no beacon for 20 hours, even if you are there. Okay, so for the first 20 hours, you must probe scan it. So that's pretty cool, I guess. And then also when it does have a beacon, it will show up on the star map, and everyone will be able to see easily where it is. Capsuleers can control the mineral output of prismaticite by running unrefined mineral reactions. These reactions require compressed prismaticite and atmospheric gases. Reactions for the unrefined minerals can be purchased from most Upwell Consortium member corporations for 50 million ISK. Unrefined mineral reactions require stand-up composite reactor. Unrefined minerals can be reprocessed into their respective minerals with variable output quantity. Cool. Mining content. Revamped the asteroid belt remnants site found in all starter systems and career agent systems. It has instead been replaced by an Empire-managed asteroid belt with enhanced visuals and NPCs. Okay. I don't know if I've ever been to this site, but sure. Number of sites reduced from 3 to 1 to make it more likely for new players to meet each other in these sites. Okay. New site uses an acceleration gate, which only lets the standard Venture and Empire corvettes inside. Veldspar size in the site increased by 10 to 12 times. Okay. So if you're a NEWBRO miner, we're going to have to check out these as a NEWBRO miner. If you're a NEWBRO miner, you can go here and get your first ores in the game and hopefully meet some new players as well. And you can go out on your journey together. Kernite and Amber anomalies will now spawn rarely in all high security space between 0.5 and 0.8 security rating, as they once did before the resource distribution update. Kernite and Amber anomalies have had a full visual pass. Kernite and Amber anomalies will have a slightly higher chance to spawn in high security space within 3 jumps of Empire Militia Faction War Headquarters system. Interesting and weird. Slightly higher chance to spawn in high security space within 3 jumps of an Empire Militia Faction Warfare War HQ system. Yeah, I don't think we need to really care or pay attention to that. Kernite and Amber anomalies have a very small chance to get an escalation to a brand new high-sec exclusive mining escalation, the Shrouded Asteroid Belt. I'm curious how this is triggered. Is it like when the belt is completely cleared, or do you just get a chance every time you're mining it? Because I don't think any like one player is going to clear out a belt. Hidden Amber deposits, which need to be probed down with scanner probes, will also rarely appear between 0.5 and 0.8 security system ratings. The site contains some plus 15% platinoid amber and a higher chance to get the mining escalation. Okay, so if you're like scanning for DEDs or wormholes or whatever you're scanning for in high space, and you happen to come across one of these hidden amber deposits, could be worth your time to go check it out. High-sec mining anomalies such as the Kernite and Amber sites, rare border sites, ice belts, and the new managed asteroid belts will now spawn a beacon into space on the overview when a player first warps to them, like faction warfare sites. To give better visibility to new players and showcase mining activity in high-sec, these beacons have been added to the default mining overview. However, if you are not using the default mining overview, they're probably regular beacons, so as long as you can show beacons, these probably show up. And then these are high-sec mining anomalies such as the Kernite and Amber sites. We're going to show up as beacons as opposed to anomalies on your probe scanner, but really you should be familiar with your probe scanner for basically all activities that you do. We have not added these beacons to anomalies in low-sec, null-sec, W space for now, since miners in these areas of space might want to hide their activity. All right. The hidden Amber site, found with scanner probes, and the high-sec mining escalation do not spawn a beacon when warped to, as players may want to keep the locations to themselves. Yeah, makes sense. Added a system-wide buff effect into Empire Militia Faction Warfare War HQ systems that grants a 10% mining speed bonus. Don't forget also that Edencom systems have a mining bonus, 10%, I believe. Can anyone double check me on that one? NPC mining ships will now spawn much more frequently in their factions' respective faction warfare War HQ systems. Veldspar deposits will now spawn in Empire Militia Faction War HQ systems. The War HQ systems are where the shipcasters are located for each Empire Militia and are listed below. So Amar is Metador, Caldari is Anaman, Galente is Intaki, and Mimitar is Amo. We are adding back the Amber and Kernite anomalies that were taken away from high security space when the resource distribution update took place 5 years ago. Specifically, we are only adding back the Kernite and Amber anomalies and not the ones containing jaspit or hermaphrodite to keep Noxium a more low-sec focused mineral. We want to bring back a source of Umbra and Kernite to HiSec so that players are able to mine it for level 3 and level 4 storyline trade missions that require it, and also add more valuable sites that are slightly less predictable than the rare border sites which spawn in the same locations. Additionally, we are adding HiSec escalation as a rare jackpot for HiSec miners to help encourage mining in faction warfare Empire War HQ systems and help encourage them to become a market/trade hub and good places for producers to buy minerals from and stock ships where they can then sell them to faction warfare players. It's all making sense now. However, at least I don't know how well this is going to go because like the major trade hubs are already pretty close to these systems, but I guess it's a good attempt. We are weighing the chance of the Kernite and Umbra anomalies to have a higher chance of spawning in and around the War HQ systems. We are also adding small mining boost effect in these systems and then adding in a Veldspar deposit as a more reliable source of high-sec minerals in the War HQ systems, as Amo Metador specifically only had 4 asteroid belts, and Taki had a special asteroid belts that only respawned infrequently, which made it hard to get consistent mining going there. They have also improved the visual of low-sec asteroid belts. Low-sec mining anomalies can no longer spawn multiple copies of the same site in the same solar system. For example, 2 small gneiss deposits can no longer share the same system. This means they will be more spread out and more widely available and won't congregate as much in a single system. And you can also use your new map to find them more easily within 5 jumps, which is really handy. Oh geez, my tea is leaking. Rare border sites that could spawn in 0.5 high security systems that border low-sec, null-sec that borders low-sec, and blue AO sites which could spawn in systems with blue AO suns in wormhole space and null-sec can no longer spawn multiple copies of the same site in the same solar system. Cool. Adjusted the medium Jaspit deposit and renamed it to average Jaspit deposit to match the naming scheme of similar anomalies. It no longer spawns in every low-sec system and will now instead appear uncommonly throughout low-sec. Increase the size of the asteroids, increase the amount of asteroids by approximately 4 times, and added plus 5% and plus 10% Jaspit variations so that the site should at least feel more rewarding. Double the chance of the small variation of mining deposits from appearing in low-sec. Removed rogue drone NPCs from low-sec small anomalies so that they are a bit easier to ninja mine with ventures and prospects, etc. The standard asteroid belt NPCs can still show up at the anomalies. Added new variations of the small mining deposits as hidden versions that need to be discovered with scanner probes. These variations have higher quality ore and a much higher chance to get the new low-sec mining escalation, which this is the first time that they've talked about a low-sec mining escalation. We're adding just the small ones for now to see how players respond to them in low security space. We're hoping the extra safety of needing to discover the site first and higher quality ore make them attractive to miners and will lead to more mining ships in space overall in low sec. That's definitely pretty cool. So if you want to go like scan around low sec, try and find one of these hidden sites to be a little bit safer from random gankers, you can do that. Because then they would have to waste their time scanning the system as well. And then you could hopefully see that they've scanned the site and then with your D-scan and get out in a timely manner. All low-sec anomalies now have a small chance to escalate to a new exclusive low-sec escalation, the Veiled Asteroid Field. Veiled Asteroid Field has a similar amount of minerals found in the large Crokite, Dark Ochre, and Gneiss anomalies, but they are condensed into far fewer asteroids at higher tiers. It has the added advantage of other players needing to combat probe you to find the site. Mining missions. All mining missions have had an enhanced visual pass. All level 1 and level 2 mining missions have had their ISK and LP increased by 50%. We've made sure to do a quality of life pass on many of the sites too, making sure the mission asteroids are usually within 20 kilometers of the warp-in point for the mission so that the mission ore can always be found with the onboard scanner and players don't have to move far away to be able to mine the ore. Now that everything has been replaced with non-interactable objects to the mission ore, you should always be at the top of the overview if you sort by range closest to you. Mining mutaplasmids. More Gamba, baby. New mining mutaplasmids have been added so that you can mutate your mining lasers, strip miners, ice mining lasers, ice harvesters, gas cloud scoops, gas cloud harvesters, mining drones, and ice harvesting drones. So basically all of your attacky things, all your turrets and drones. These new mining module mutaplasmids can be found in Abyssal Dead Space, while the mining drone mutaplasmids are potential rewards from Concord Rogue Analysis Beacon sites, the crab beacons, which are capital ship things for nullsecers. New ships. Catalyst introduces 4 new mining ships along with the Sisters of Eve expedition command ship, the Odysseus. The first is the ore mining destroyer, the Pioneer. The Pioneer skill bonuses are mining yield, mining range, gas cloud scoop duration, and then roll bonuses, mining yield, and gas cloud scoop duration. Blueprint originals for the Pioneer can be purchased from Outer Ring excavation stations in Outer Ring. It's probably going to be pretty expensive like all the other ore ship blueprints, but we'll see. Alpha clones are able to train the new mining destroyer skill to level 2, which I believe they said is like 12% better than a level 5 trained venture, ? We'll have to test that out as well. The ore command ship, the Outrider. Outrider skill bonuses are mining yield, drone hit points and damage, shield resistances. The command bonuses are reduction to the micro jump field generator spool up time, which means that it can use a micro jump field generator, and that is huge, which means it can reposition whatever ships it's nearby 100 kilometers. So it can get your guys out quickly and easily if they're about to be ganked, or it can get the enemy either in or out of position. And then also a 2% bonus to shield command and mining foreman burst effect strength and duration. So I can use shields and mining foreman burst, which makes sense because I believe all of the mining ships, if they were to tank, would go shields. And then roll bonuses. Power grid reduction for command burst. 50% reduction in a micro warp drive signature radius penalty. So you can use a micro warp, or you will basically always use a micro warp drive, and you will have your signature radius less than it normally would be, which is huge for sick tanking. 50% reduction in reactivation delay for defender launcher. No one uses those, but sure. Can fit a micro jump field generator. Can fit 1 command burst module. 75% bonus to tractor beam range. I actually feel like this could be really useful. And then 30% bonus to tractor beam velocity, also really useful. This could be a nice little utility, think like a wormhole salvager ship that can also have the micro jump drive and the burst in case you need to get out of a sticky situation. That's probably what I'll use it for. Blueprint copies of the Outrider can be obtained by performing invention jobs on the blueprint copies of the Pioneer. Makes sense? And then you have the Ore Navy Mining Frigate, the Venture Consortium issue. Venture Consortium issue skill bonuses are mining yield, gas cloud scoop duration, shield booster amount, so active shield reps, bonus to gas cloud scoop yield, +2 bonus to ship warp core strength. So it's going to be harder to lock down. 50% reduction in industrial cyno field generator liquid ozone consumption. So this is a pretty good indie cyno if you want to, depending on how much it costs. It'll make your fuel cheaper, but it will also be more of a gank target if it's too expensive. And then 50% bonus to mining crit hit chance. So that's pretty good. And then +10 bonus to salvage drone salvage chance. So I guess if you want to use salvage drones, you could use a ship. I don't imagine many people are going to be doing that, but Who knows? Blueprint copies for the Venture Consortium issue can be obtained from Upwell Consortium member corporation LP stores for the price of 10 million ISK and 10,000 loyalty points. And actually, thinking and speaking about the Venture Consortium issue, or VCI as I might call it now, is that there is there's the data, but it's actually a salvage anomaly in Pokfin, in which you kill a thing and then you salvage it. This might be a pretty good ship to actually do that in, because it's got the warp core strength, and I guess it doesn't have the scanning ability, but you don't really need to scan that many things in Pokfin anyways. It's got salvage. It might be useful, especially depending on price. Blueprint copies for the VCI can be obtained from Upwell Consortium member corporation LP stores for the price of 10 million ISK and 10,000 loyalty points. So yeah, that's not too bad. This includes Chemeltech, Duseo Factory, Alpha & Co., Freedom Extension, Impetus, Intaki Bank, Mordus Legion, Propelled Dynamic, Urian Sons, and corporations. Which is great, because maybe if you're a strange high-sec mission player and you happen to have some LP for some of these more weird corporations, you can turn that into VCIs and make some more money. And then Or offers a 60% discount in their LP store at a price of 4 million ISK and 4,000 LP. But Or LP is significantly harder to get. So there's that. And then moving on to the Or Navy Mining Destroyer, the PCI, Pioneer Consortium issue. You get mining yield, mining range, shield booster amount, so it's active shields, gas cloud scoop duration, mining yield, mining crit chance, gas cloud scoop duration, salvage drone chance. Cool. And then blueprints for the PCI can be obtained from Upwell for 30 million and 30,000 LP. And then same places that you can get it, and also the same 60% discount. Moving on to the ship that I personally hate, the SOE Expedition Command ship, the Odysseus. The reason I hate this, I'll give you the TLDR, is that I personally feel that it is incredibly expensive, because I'm pretty sure that they haven't changed how to make it. I guess I need to double check that. Well, no, they said that they were aiming for a price about the same price as an Orca. So between like 1.7 to 2 billion for just the hull. And so for that price, you get a ship that does basically nothing as good as any other ship, especially for that price, could do. And then, except for the one caveat, is that it is, bar none, the best gas huffing command ship, which, like, the Gnosis was the other option. But the thing is, the Gnosis is like 100 million, maybe, and this is 2 billion to start. And the way I like to gas cloud huff is I like to be like completely AFK. And so I like Ventures and Gnosises, or like maybe the cheap mining barge. And then just like, if I die, I die, who cares? And if I don't, then I make money. But no way am I going to put a fucking 2 billion ISK ship on grid and not pay attention to it. But let's go over his bonuses real quick. You get 4% bonus to armor resistances. It's basically like a big Stratios, if you're familiar with that. 10% bonus to light, medium, and heavy drone damage, not sentry drones. And also you don't get tankier drones. And then 50% bonus to data analyzer and relic analyzer optimal range. So you can start hacking things sooner, but you still need to be close to the can to loot things. 5% reduction in gas cloud scoop duration, 3% bonus to the strength and duration of exploration command burst. So if you're going to use exploration command burst, this is the ship to do it, but exploration command burst are kind of lame. 1% bonus to the strength and duration of armor command burst. 100% bonus to the duration of expedition command burst. 50% bonus to the range of command burst modules. 50% bonus to medium energy turret optimal range. So you can use closer range ammo and do the same amount of damage with your energy turrets, which is pretty nice. 50% reduction in CPU cost of gas cloud scoops. 37.5% bonus to scan probe strength, which is not great. Like it's the same as like an asteroid, right? But it's not the 50%. This is counteracted a little bit because like you can use a exploration command burst to get you more scan probe strength, but I still don't think it even reaches all the way up to the 50%. I think it's still less than 50%. So it's not the best scanner that you could use, even like compared to like a buzzard, which is still the best exploration ship, just so you know. Plus 10 bonus to a relic and data analyzer strength. That's good. Can fit a covert ops cloak. That's good. Can fit 2 command burst modules. That's standard. Cloaking reactivation delayed reduced to 15 seconds. That feels long. Can fit a 0-point mask entangler. So basically what this module is it's what lets people go through any size wormhole. So it makes your ship very tiny, like the size of a capsule. So there's some shenanigans that you can do with it. And then this ship can receive bonus effects for depending on the environment. So this is a little bit weird to understand, but basically if you are in a special system or like a special wormhole, then you're going to get bonuses. The example that I have been shown and know about is that like if you are in M2 TAC, then you're going to get a salvager duration bonus because that is where a big fight happened. And so like a lot of salvage happened there because there was a bunch of wrecks. So it's just fun little things for like people who like to explore. They can see some cool effects in special systems, which is, I don't know, pretty fun, pretty nice. I like that. And then also the thing that they don't have here, which I remember is actually the only reason the ship is actually really good and maybe ever worth flying, is that this ship has a ship maintenance array. And what that means is it can carry, like, I think it's large enough for 2 or 3 frigates, or maybe like 2 destroyers, 3 frigates, or something like that. It can carry extra ships. So like if you're in like an NPSI fleet and you're like have some tackles, right? Like you have some stilettos or whatever, some interceptors. The interceptors can go out, try and tackle things. If they happen to die, they can just come back to the Odysseus and get a new ship. Easy peasy. And also, hugely with the SMA, it works like a mobile depot, and in that you can fit off of it. So whatever, like say you're in a small gang or something and you come across a group, or like you kind of know what you're going to be fighting against because you see them on D-scan, everyone can have like a refit in cargo. And so like everyone can have like target painters to start, right? And then you realize you're going to go up against a bunch of missile ships, maybe like a bunch of golems are coming in. And so everyone can quickly switch over to their missile guidance disruptors, or you can change to the correct color of jams really quickly. So like that is huge. And so I do actually expect to see these in fleets, specifically because of the SMA. And then you can get these from the SOE member corporations for the price of 250,000 LP and 250 million ISK. This includes the Sanctuary, Food Relief, and Sisters of Eve corporations. I wonder what the Sanctuary and Food Relief are. I wonder if you could do some missions for those guys. Modules. Added new Expedition Command Burst modules. These modules can be activated to give you and your nearby fleet members bonuses to hacking, scanning, and salvaging. Oh boy. Actually, salvaging might be pretty nice. These modules can be loaded with one of 3 charges. Improved scanning strength and virus coherence of all analyzer modules. So if you just want to like be a better explorer, you can do this. It's pretty nice. Expedition pinpoint charge improves scanning, scan deviation, and cycle deviation and cycle time of salvager modules. I'm curious how much the scan deviation bonus is. Again, it's going to be nowhere fucking close to the bonuses that a buzzard gets. And that's another reason that specifically like the buzzard and the anathema, because they get the scan deviation bonuses instead of the move faster while cloaked bonuses, are the best exploration ships in the game. And then also the expedition reach charge improves the range of analyzer modules, salvager modules, and D-scan range. D-scan range is definitely nice. I imagine you're going to be using that a fair bit. Again, the range of analyzer modules, you still have to be close to the can to actually loot the can, so that seems pretty dumb. And then salvager modules is cool. If you're gonna salvage something, that's pretty nice. And then blueprints of the Expedition Command Burst modules and charges can be found in Servant Sisters of Eve member corporation stations for sale. A faction variation of the Expedition Command Burst can be found in the SOE member corporation LP stores. An Expedition Command Mind Link can be found in Concord LP stores and purchased for 20 million ISK and 20,000 LP. That's actually pretty fucking cheap. And this is an implant, if you guys don't know, which makes your command burst stronger. The Sisters Expedition Command Mind Link, which combines the effects of the Armor and Expedition Mind Link. Oh, right. Okay. This is the base one. The SOE one, which is the Armor and Expedition, can be purchased from SOE corporations for 100 million ISK and 100,000 LP. That sounds a lot more reasonable. Added a new integrated sensor array, carrier-only module. More about that below. All right. Speaking of, moving on to carriers. Decreased build cost by approximately 30%, which means they are going to be cheaper than Dreads, but more expensive than Marauders. How much do I think Odysseus will be when it hits the market? The first few ones are probably going to be something like 4 billion, but it should settle down to about like 2 billion. And then decreased build times by about 10%. The cost of carrier construction has been brought down significantly. The reduction represents around 1 billion ISKI per hull at the time of writing. At this new price point, these ships will be somewhere between a Marauder and a Dreadnought. This allows a player to make a more meaningful choice when selecting their ship. Carriers can now have additional support fighter squad active. Increase the support fighter squad limit to 2 from 1, and increase the total number of fighter squad tubes to 4 from 3. This doesn't mean that you can have 4. Wait, I think maybe it actually does. I thought they were saying that you could like only have like 3 fighters and 1 support. I don't know. I guess you could have all fighters if you wanted. I don't think that's true though. Added new support fighter effectiveness bonuses. Archon, plus 2% bonus per level to Cenobite, Survivor, and Neutral Ace and shit. Oh, okay, so they're giving the respective E-War bonuses to all of the different factions or empires. So Caldari is going to get ECM. Amar is going to get Newts. Thanes are going to go fast with the Afterburners Siren support Afterburner speed bonus. Sure. I don't know what Siren support fighters do. Are they damps, assumedly? And then Nitty gets Stasis Web Strength. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Makes sense. Increased fighter bay capacities. So you're also going to be able to carry more fighters because you can have more tubes, and that's a good thing. The fighters are still maxed at 3 tubes. They just added a single support tube, but you can change the ratio to 2 to 2 if you want. Got it. These changes aim to strengthen the carrier's long-range E-War niche. A carrier pilot can now field an additional support fighter, giving them additional utility with no loss of deeps. They will also have the option to field 2 support and 2 light fighters at the same time if the need arises. Support fighters themselves are now more powerful when used by a carrier. Each faction will be able to make up the most of their respective support fighters with an up to 10% bonus to effectiveness. They also increase their ship maintenance bays to 2 million from 1 million. That's pretty fucking cool. In part of the expectation of a carrier is the ability to move a large number of ships. Carry things. As such, the SMB of all carriers has been doubled. This brings these ships into the same ballpark as a bowhead. Wow. Okay. That's pretty cool. You say sirens are warp scrams. Oh, okay. That also makes sense. Decrease max target ranges. Archon went from 4K to 300. Chimera went to 4.6K to 350. Thani went to 3.6 to 300. So this isn't a great way to read this. Just basically more or less, all of their ranges got nerfed like 10 times, right? However, they also added a max target range cap of 750 kilometers. However, you can now fit the new integrated sensor array. It's functionally identical to a networked sensor array, other than the following. It multiplies a max target range by 12, removes the max targeting range cap, has a 2-minute duration, adds a 30 or minus 30% bonus to repair module duration and capacitor use, does not disable micro jump drives or micro jump field generators. No increase in EWAR capacitor cost, uses the visual effect of a triage module, cannot be fit to supercarriers. Note, you can still receive remote repairs when it is active, just like the NSA. So this is a module that lets you go far away again, and it lets you heal yourself better. It lets you reposition with your jump drives. It lets you continue to do your EWAR. However, you are stuck on the field. You cannot warp for 2 minutes. And so if you want to have your long range be far away, be safe, and be more tanky, and be able to protect yourself and do all that cool stuff, you can. It just means that you're going to be stuck on field for 2 minutes. Build cost and blueprint availability are the same as those of networked sensor array. Network sensor array can be traded in for an integrated sensor array at all LP stores. The above changes aim to tackle skynetting carriers. Carriers will no longer be able to engage at their previous extreme ranges without an active integrated sensor array. While the module is activated, the carrier will be unable to warp, dock, or tether. This provides counterplay for those attacking into carriers within tether range of a structure. The integrated sensor array is a much more powerful variant of the network sensor array. Micro jump drive and micro jump field generators restrictions are not present on this variant, allowing the ships more mobility. Active tanking is also buffed while using the integrated sensor array. Lastly, the EWAR capacitor cost increases in the NSA are not present to allow more flexibility in fitting. Note, the carriers will still be able to fit a NSA until early next year. After this time, the NSA will be made exclusive to super carriers. Support fighters. Increase Scarab support fighter ECM strengths. Scarab 1 to 2.4 from 1.6. Ooh, wow. That's a big buff. Navy Scarabs 2.7 from 1.95, which is less of a buff, but still good. So that's like 0.7 buff as opposed to 0.8. And then the last one, Scarab 2, is another 0.7 buff. Okay, cool. Increased Cenobite support fighter energy newt amounts. Ceno 170 to 60, or 60 to 70, and then 70 to 80, and 80 to 90. Cool. Scarabs and Cenobite are the least popular support fighters by a noticeable margin. Increasing their effectiveness helps make the bonuses found on the Archine and Chimera feel impactful. Having more viable options for carrier also gives them better flexibility. I kind of imagine that the EWAR or the jams are gonna be really fucking strong, because like 3 points, as well as like the bonuses that ship hull is gonna give you, is starting to get up there, and that's gonna start jamming people, and that's gonna be really fucking annoying. So definitely watch out for those. Supercarriers. All supercarriers can now conduit jump with the same mechanics as a carrier. Can jump with a maximum jump of 30 other capsuleers. All subcapital combat ships are eligible to be jumped. The addition of a conduit jump to supercarriers give them extra utility and some nice quality of life when flying in a smaller fleet, because tons of supercarriers fly in smaller fleets. Faxes. Increase the fuel bay of all fax ships to 6,000 M3. Fax ships are often more fuel hungry than other ships with the same sized bay. Increasing the fuel bay for these ships should make the experience of flying them more enjoyable. All right. Balancing. Moloch. BPC added to the Blood Raider LP store at 165 billion ISK and 165 million LP. Shermosh. Blueprint Copy added to the Blood Raider LP for 15 billion and 15 million. And Dagon at 15 billion and 15 million. Loggerhead LP costs reduced from 25 and 25 to 15 and 15. Okay, cool. So you're actually going to be able to see these ships now. We're adding the Blood Raider and capital ships to the Blood Raider LP store as we are unhappy with the state of NPC Satoyos and to get parity with other pirate factions. We are adding them at a slightly higher cost, 10% plus 10% of the others, to carefully monitor them, and we'll slowly adjust them down when we're satisfied. Although we know this is likely too high of a cost, and the other pirate dreadnoughts are likely still too expensive as well. That's cool. I'm really excited to see more pirate dreads. As additionally, we are reducing the cost of the loggerhead at the same time to match the Dagon at 15 and 15. We want to monitor the pirate faxes feeling more available before reducing them to dreadnought values, since they may be overpowered in some niche areas of space, such as wormholes, if they appear easier to replace and more available. The Cenotaph. Basically, they think not enough people are running Satoyo sites, so they're adding them to the LP store, which is true. Cenotaph. Breacher pod damage duration reduced from 50 second to 40 second, from 75 to 60 with max skills. Breacher pod maximum damage reduced from 800 to 600, from 1,000 to 750 deeps with max skills. So this is probably targeting the fact that you could kill freighters with only a few cenotaphs. This is a large reduction to the total amount of damage per breacher pod, especially against larger ships. With max skills, this is a reduction from 75,000 to 45,000 maximum damage per pod. Yeah, so that is almost definitely why they changed this. And if you guys don't know, there was some high-sec ganking going on where cenotaphs were able to gank freighters for relatively cheap compared to what freighters generally carry. And then the Tholos, also reducing. Why do we? This maintains the total amount of damage done per breacher against large ships at 15. Oh wait. Oh, cool. They're buffing the Tholos. That's what they needed actually. Reduced from 50 to 40 seconds, so it takes less time, but the maximum damage is being increased from 160 to 200, or 200 to 250. So it's doing the same amount of damage in a shorter amount of time, which is cool. And then their explanation is the Cenotaph is still too strong despite our attempts to add more counterplay to it in the Legion Major Update. We are reducing the maximum damage with the max skills 75 to 60 and lowering the maximum potential flat damage of the Breacher. This comes close to halving the total damage per pod, a 40% reduction overall. Jesus. So they obliterated it, which we think will still leave it in a very strong place against high resistance targets, but reduce the overall pressure it provides when spreading multiple pods over multiple ships at once. We are also adjusting the Tholos a little bit for consistency so that all breacher pods now last 60 seconds with max skills. We are lowering the total damage duration of the pod, but then compensating it by increasing the flat damage, keeping the damage per pod as the same as now. We'll see it increase from 200 to 250 against larger targets. It is focusing a few pods on, but it will see a small reduction of damage if spreading multiple pods over smaller targets. The Stradios added 50% medium energy turret damage roll bonus, and then reduced number of turrets from 4 to 3. Is this huge? Question mark? I think this might be huge. Well, I guess it has 4.5 turrets worth of damage as opposed to 4. So it's getting half a turret's damage buff, which isn't, I guess that's not huge. But it also frees up a slot, which is pretty fucking good. Even though the Stradios was bonus for medium energy turrets, they were frequently ignored for other weapons or energy neutralizers and felt weak despite the bonus. We're giving it a large 50% damage roll bonus, but then taking away a turret. This should make the lasers feel better to use with most Stradios fits, since you can fit 3 bonus lasers alongside a cloak and a probe launcher at the same time. And it also reduces the fitting and capacitor costs needed for full gun fits. Yeah, also that true. While providing a small boost in damage, as now the 3 turrets will out damage the old Stradios with 4 turrets fitted. Yeah, I really like that change. And I agree with it being weird and weak. So now you might be seeing Stradios as actually like combat flown. Because, I mean, it also frees up a top slot, which you could put newts or nasas in as well. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Anyways, the Mamba. Net raise are required to build a Mamba reduced from 40 to 30. Wonderful, because it was too expensive and not a very good ship. Mechable reduced from 40 to 30. Wonderful, because well, the thing is that the Mechable just fucking sucks. So it needs some more love, as opposed to being both of them need to be cheaper. Don't get me wrong. This is great, but also it needs a buff because it is too expensive and not as good as Navy destroyers. Mamba has some niche uses, and it's nice that it's going to be cheaper, but I would also like to see some more work there. And then Venture, the Venture blueprint no longer requires Isogen to be able to manufacture a Venture. So I guess this just is because it wants to be able to be produced from stuff in HiSec exclusively. Is that what's going on? The Porpoise, medium industrial core 1, shield booster cycle tightness improved from 10 to 20%. Shield booster amount bonus improved from 10 to 20%. That's pretty good. And then this is 10 to 20 and 15 to 25. Okay. So they're buffing the active reps of the Porpoise and Orca, giving a small boost to the active tanking capabilities of the Porpoise and Orca while they're using the industrial core modules, which makes sense. Plex transaction logs. This is another pretty huge thing for a few people, myself included. So like being able to know where all your Plex comes from and where it went is really nice. And the fact that we had it before and then they took it away from us and now they are bringing it back, which is really welcome. I personally really appreciate this. There is new Plex transaction logs, and they are now available through the wallet. There are 2 tabs available, Overview and Transactions. The Overview tab shows a pie chart of either income and expenses. The Transaction tab will show the latest 2,000 entries. Description of transactions include which character interacted with Plex balance. Entries can be sorted by date, ascending or descending. Transactions can be copied in clipboard in CSV format for easy pasting in your workbook software of choice. Epic Arc. A new Epic Arc, the Fractured Legacy, has been added. Consisting of 3 mining-focused missions, this new Epic Arc is meant for new and returning players. The arc showcases Catalyst features, including a gorgeous phased field. The latest Epic Arc in nearly 16 years. It is short and experimental compared to its predecessors. It is estimated to be completable in the length of a normal session. So like a normal session of Eve is like 12 hours, right? 12 hours? 12, 14 hours? What do you guys think? Earn the novel rewards, such as the new ore mining destroyer, the Pioneer. Other rewards include other new expansion goodies, such as modules and BPCs. To get started on this ore Epic Arc, go to the Air Laboratory Station in Kasago 7 and speak with Elias Patolnin. So that is going to be near Kaldari. Or near Jita. Air opportunities, freelance job visibility update. Ooh, exciting. We've updated freelance jobs tab and air opportunities to only display jobs that the current character is eligible to participate in. Oh, finally. Wonderful. Fac War. New NPCs have been added to most faction warfare complex sites. NPCs of both the occupying and attacking factions will be present. Interesting. NPCs will fight based on factional allegiances and can contest sites. Some NPCs may be fitted with warp disruption. Good lord, what? NPCs can still drop tags, but at a lower rate given their increased presence. Small, scout, medium, and large complex sites have all been updated. These changes borrow strongly from the mechanics found in pirate insurgency sites. Capsuleers will always be able to take part in a small scale skirmish when entering a complex. Having NPCs of both factions presence will also mean a capsuleer will want to be fit for combat even when defending. That's good. That's good. No more completely empty hull ships. Keeping track of pointing NPCs will also be necessary if a player wants to be ready for a quick getaway. Okay. Yeah, I guess I do like this. Pirate strongholds. Ooh, okay. The rewards for destroying a pirate stronghold, sometimes referred to as pirate fobs, has been rebalanced. A 10 pilot fleet will now be optimal for maximum payout. Wonderful. I really like this. Up to 1 billion ISK can be earned per stronghold, also known as 100 million ISK per pilot. Roaming NPCs spawned by pirate strongholds will no longer attack players' structures. I suppose that's good. The rewards for pirate strongholds did not fit the expected reward/risk within low sec. There has also been some demand for 10 pilot content within these systems. The fobs have been rebalanced to provide rewarding content for medium scale low sec pilots. Note that the drops from fobs have been unchanged. The roaming pirate NPCs have been causing frustration for those who have structures within those systems. That's true. This was especially true with Metanox moon drills. Oh shit, they were blowing up Metanox moon drills, where their frequent brief attacks meant constant upkeep. As such, these NPCs will no longer shoot at structures. Aww. However, they may still visit them looking for other targets. That's pretty fun. We're excited to see what you do with the updates coming in the Catalyst expansion, and we'd love for you to get involved with the discussion on the EVE Online Discord and the EVE Online forums. 07. Oh boy, that was a doozy of a patch note. I'm really excited for this new expansion. I'm really excited for basically anything that helps out NEWBROs, because that, in my opinion, is the lifeblood of the game. Getting more people involved, invested, and getting hooked on the game. And so getting them a good first experience is wonderful. The new map, huge. Basically, the old map was completely hidden and like never talked about for new players because it is bad and confusing and crazy and bad. But this new map, I feel good about showing new players and showing them how to use it so that they can easily get around space. They have all that new mining stuff. They have a lot of good quality improvements. The carrier changes, I think, are going to be healthy for more in-game stuff. What else do we got going on? Just to reiterate, the Plex log is wonderful. Seeing more pirate capital ships is wonderful. Odysseus, I hate it, but also I guess there are some niche cases for it. Love new ships. Love those. All of the mining updates with all of it's just going to be cleaner, better, more enjoyable. Really like all that. I'm not a miner myself, but I can definitely appreciate that this is going to make it a lot more fun, a lot more stuff to do, a lot better stuff to do. And especially like finding those hidden things and those escalations. It's going to be like you're just about finished with the night, but then you get a mining escalation. You're like, oh man, we got to get this. Let's grind it out a few more hours and get this escalation done. And yeah, keep people in space, having a good time. All right. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I will see you guys on the next video, and I will see you in space.